just wanna tell you, baby girl, that it's your love that I desire. Baby, come and test the love I have for you. Let me satisfy ya. Your every need, mind, body, and soul. I know you can't deny it. Hey, cause when I step up in the place, you know I wanna see your face. Loving all the kissing, you're the girl that I've been missing. When I'm off doing work at that 9 to 5, mentally I stay high. Cause you're always on my mind. And when you're feeling stressed because the love's not fair, don't worry, baby girl, cause I'm not going nowhere. I'm thinking maybe we can chill and have some fun, and we can have a good time with loving all night long. All I want to be is your number one. Your number one, your number one. 'Cause all I want to be is your number one. Your number one, your number one. 'Cause all I want to be is your number one. Your number one, your number one. 'Cause all I want to be is your number one. Your number one, your number one.
Your number one, baby. Welcome, welcome.
Stop me, baby.
You scared me.
Hope everyone is having an
Get really
excellent
close to your mic.
day. Welcome back. Number 5. We made it this far. Nobody's dead yet. Nobody's got COVID, hopefully.
We're
I
all
know,
still
we should do
alive.
something special for like our 10th or something.
Get stupid fucking high.
Well, that's normal, but for this one we were supposed to have Caesar,
But
but that's
he
okay. He's rescheduled. We're gonna
had
have
to reschedule. Yes, our first guest will be none other than Caesar.
we'll pop up more guests after that.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We get more time to establish the foundation too. We're cool.
More time for you to hate us. More time for you
Tender
to love
bully
us.
What was that?
Ice
Yeah.
cold by Michael.
Fuck yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Should we do a
Ah.
checkup? How's everyone doing? How's everyone's mental?
In shambles, but you know, we're all right. I bring it together just to talk to you guys on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
I'm
pretty
pretty
tired.
tired, but yeah,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta do what we gotta do. It's Wednesday night.
yeah. It feels good too once you're done.
Oh yeah. It's like clocking out.
But you, Carlos, we haven't
It's a-
heard from you too much
It's a
this
nice
week.
break.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much lockdown mode. Yeah.
Yeah, it still seems spooky out here. It's still they're talking about like reopening restaurants partially right now too. I don't really understand.
They're talking about reopening malls and barbers and shit.
Yeah, how's that supposed to roll out? Like,
Yeah, come on, dude.
Yeah, I could really use
Fuck
you
that.
always
yeah.
see, like, certain places, right?
You just hear that the fucking Rock got that shit? Him and his family? Dwayne the Rock Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson? No.
Yeah, they got COVIDed
got it?
up. Yeah. It broke on Twitter today, him and his family. I don't know exactly who, like probably it's like him and his wife or some shit, but
Fun.
it's getting everybody. You're not safe, no matter how buff you are.
Well, he's probably safe because he's. So buff.
He got the money for it, but
What a bitch, though. He got it and we didn't.
yeah, for real, beta.
One fucking thing that I mean, obviously he's got it way later and he's a celebrity, but like, remember like when the first people that we were hearing about were getting COVID were like all these jet setter types, like celebrities and shit and people traveling. Then it was like, all right, let's close down. But now that it's like normal, fucking, you know, I mean,
They're like, we have to reopen. We have
we gotta
to.
reopen.
The economy.
I think somewhere. I
Economy.
can't remember what it was called. It was somewhere in the valley here in California. Like 400 of the fucking workers at the chicken plant fucking tested positive for COVID. I just yeah, like Livingston, California, or something dumb.
That's where I buy my chicken.
What a
And
good
I
time
eat
to
it
go on
raw.
strike.
It was some. It wasn't Tyson, but it was something close. It was a big company.
Somebody who maims chickens.
Should we start the show?
Yeah. Let's
Procured articles.
let's
Or
hop in.
before we do that, do you want to talk about some
Let's talk
important
about
races?
Yeah, let's talk about Big Papa Markey, how he brought it home. Absolutely shit on the Kennedys. Not only ended their never losing streak in Massachusetts, but also murdered him.
Yeah, he's done. He can't.
He won by like a good ass fucking margin.
Plus, he had to vacate his fucking other seat for this race. So I don't think he's I think he's just lawyer Kennedy right now.
Lawyer Kennedy.
His first form.
His first form. Without his other two fucking smarmy layers on him.
Now that we've knocked out the neoliberal, time to go back to making fun of Ed Markey, as Online Left does.
Yeah.
We help him get elected, then go back to shitting on him because he's not.
They told me Lee Harvey Oswald should kill me. All right, bro, relax. Of course, people are gonna say that.
You're a Kennedy and you suck.
And you're going against Crystal Pepsi, canon to our show, Mr. Crystal Pepsi.
Mr. Crystal Pepsi.
Unstoppable. The other race was it's kind of a sad one, though. I mean, obviously, what we can take from the Kennedy one, I don't know. What do you think we can take from that?
When the left actually backs a candidate, and when the candidate stays true to his base, regardless of how imperfect his record is, but when you stay true to your leftist base, you'll win.
Yeah, because
when you don't run to the center. And try to pick up like voters that aren't going to vote for you. Exactly.
Marquee endorsements here was Kennedy.
You got the AOC endorsement off on Markey. That's
true.
Huge.
Which is more our.
And then Warren, you had all the resistance chicks come out and
The
like
resistance chicks.
Yeah, the whole like resist, like capital SIS.
Yeah, and Nancy Pelosi.
The Warren Democrats.
Everyone pretty much came out for Kennedy.
Yeah.
And then he loses.
He got folded.
But, Markey didn't get as badly smeared as the other man that lost.
Morris. Yeah. They pretty much painted him as like the predator, like
homophobic or some homo predator, basically.
Yeah, just falling into the normal trope.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
Exposes their identity politics.
And it was still a close race.
Yeah, Carlos is right though, because they use that same identity politics in the other race, but this one they used to smear a gay man. This is how far they're willing to go.
Because they don't actually care about gay people; they just want to use them.
Yeah,
it's just a tool to prop up who you want.
The Democrat plantation.
It's not about inclusiveness.
But luckily, hopefully next time around, because Richard Neal is ass, and it seems like.
I mean, you got
that attack. He's still got to run for his money.
Yeah, and not only that, like I think he only lost by like 10 points or something.
Well, I thought he was gonna win at one point.
Yeah, and then what's it called?
He was gonna win.
And and he just has to focus on this next dub because Corey Bush, same thing happened. Got smeared into like all of eternity, and then came out and won next time.
Yep.
As long as he doesn't give up.
Still a shame.
Oh yeah.
It's okay.
We're coming for him.
Live and learn. Let's go to our first article, yeah?
Yeah, hop right into it, man.
Sata Masakana. We'll go ahead and this is from Mint Press, Michael's former publishing
Mintico Productions.
Mintico Productions, baby.
Decades later, America's meddling in Colombia is still costing lives. From the drug war to Planned Colombia to support for right-wing paramilitary groups, decades of U.S. interference in Colombia has caused so much instability that to this day the country is still reeling from On a warm Tuesday morning earlier this month in Llano Verde, please excuse my whiteness, an eastern suburb of the city of Cali, 5 Afro-Colombian children decided to leave their homes to take advantage of the fine weather to spend some time outside. They would never return. Only a few hours later, they were found dead. Their bodies burned, cut to pieces with machetes and riddled with bullets, dumped in public for all to see. The residents of Llano Verde are no strangers to violence. The majority of them are refugees, displaced from the fighting in Colombia's civil war. The local press reported that the boys, Luis Fernando Montaño, Josmar Jean Paul Cruz Pragaza, Alvaro Jose Caicedo Silvia, and Jair Andres Cortez Castro, and leader Cardenas Hurtado were members of the vibrant local art scene and had gone to fly kites. Such an innocent activity in a land of the guilty. A violent history. The incidents has shocked the people of Cali, but not surprised them. Last week alone, there were 5 massacres across the country. Cali is not even the most recent one. On Tuesday, the bodies of 3 young men were found on a roadside in Ocana, a city near the Venezuelan border. That was the country's 46th massacre in 2020 to date, according to local human rights group Indepez, who notes that 185 people have been killed this year, more than 1 person per day.
Fuck.
Every massacre is a message, said Manuel Rosenthal, a physician and longtime activist living in Cauca, in the country's southwest. Young indigenous Afro-Colombians are being murdered en masse in different regions of the country. The massacres are methodic, systematic. It is a job being done as planned. Going to the quoted section. This is from the Alliance for Global Justice. We have been watching with alarm as enemies of peace in Colombia have continued to escalate threats and assaults against human rights defenders, social movement leaders, and ex-insurgents participating in the peace process. Also targeted have been their family members, including in some cases children and even infants. As always, the most affected by political violence are rural farming, indigenous, and Afro-Colombian communities. The government, led by President Eian Duque, blamed leftist rebel groups for the killings, particularly the FARC. The majority of the latest massacres have indeed occurred in rural areas controlled by the rebels until the historic 2016 peace accord, where the FARC agreed to demobilize and enter the political arena instead. Yet the experts Minpress spoke to were skeptical of Duque's claims. Who in Colombia, after the FARC dismantled, has the capacity to locate, threaten, and murder social leaders, and now proceed with massacres with such precision? The answer is obvious. There has to be military intelligence involved, said Rosenthal. Certainly throughout Colombia's recent history, the majority of atrocities have been carried out by government-linked paramilitaries, who have enjoyed virtually free rein to impose their will on the country. And then just reading a little bit down where it says Plan Colombia. Plan Colombia. Duque is the protege of the strongly conservative president Alvaro Uribe, who ruled the country between 2002 and 2010. Uribe worked closely with the United States government to implement the Bush administration's Plan Colombia, a massive push to demilitarize the drug war, leading to huge deaths and destruction in the nation's countryside and resulting in widespread social dislocation and upheaval. However, many observers saw Washington's move as a veiled attempt to apply a favored government with weapons, so they could defeat Colombia's leftist rebels once and for all.
Sounds American.
Yeah. Basically, from there on out, though, it just goes to describe that. I mean, Bush's plan was basically to take, some things that actually were effective in fighting the drug war down there and just giving a shit ton of guns to the actual fucking government of Colombia, and then giving them military intelligence, and then obviously just as good as them killing leftists.
Wipe them out.
Yeah. And then now, with all these this one I didn't know about as much because I thought, you know, it was really the 90s and the early 2000s that a lot of people died in Colombia due to the drug war.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's popping off now, and you know, obviously their president, who's a conservative piece of shit, is blaming it on leftist groups that have finally, you know, decided to concede their power and try to work it out politically. When, yeah, for a fact, it's right-wing paramilitary groups.
Yeah, of course, armed by the U.S. government.
But I wanted to bring that one up because maybe it's something we don't hear about as much.
No, definitely, Colombia specifically.
We'll get to talk about it eventually too, like the femicide that's happening in Mexico and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that was, yeah, and Colombia was one. The drug war still, I mean, it's important that we obviously decriminalize drugs and, you know, demilitarize, you know, stop giving fucking guns to right-wing psychos in other countries. But yeah, it's just important to read these things are going on. Sorry.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you want to keep on topic with the U.S. meddling in foreign affairs.
Yeah.
You can bring up that article where they talk about the Syrian
I'll just
sanctions.
touch on this one short since I read quite a bit of the last one.
Yeah, we talked about
It was important though. It needed background. Like the Plan Colombia stuff was important also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's for the Syria one though. This is from the Gray Zone. It says headline here: crushing U.S. sanctions devastate Syria's people and post-war reconstruction. Down to the article. First piece from the transcript. Aaron Mate, welcome to Pushback. I'm Aaron Mate. I'm not Aaron Mate though, I'm joking. In June, the U.S. imposed its harshest sanctions on Syria to date, prompting the World Food Program to warn of mass starvation or another mass exodus, which we've seen some of the effects of that, like the Greek story we had brought up recently.
Leaving them in the fucking ocean.
Yeah, and it's because they're, you know, mass exodus.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. sanctions law, known as the Caesar Act, openly states that its strategy is to prevent reconstruction in government-held areas where most Syrians live, in which the Syrian government now controls after defeating a decade-long devastating proxy war waged by the U.S. and its allies.
Mm.
In a new article for Foreign Affairs, scholar Joshua Landis and former Obama administration official Steve Simon write that the current U.S. sanctions policy, quote, further immiserates the Syrian people, blocks reconstruction efforts, and strangles the economy that sustains a desperate population during Syria's growing humanitarian public health crises. This is from the interview in the video from Aaron. So lay out for us what these Caesar Act sanctions do to Syria, and why you've written this article in opposition. From Joshua Landis, well, the sanctions are. The stated reason for the sanction is that they're to force the Assad regime to accept UN resolutions, which call for free and fair elections, to end the sectarian form of government, and to start a political process that the special envoy to the United States, James Jeffrey, has said would lead to Assad leaving power. So in a sense, this is regime change. He has said it's not about regime change, and the Trump administration people say we do not insist on regime change. We want a radical change of regime behavior.
Radical change of regime.
We don't want a regime change. We want a radical change of regime behavior.
And if that means killing him and putting somebody else in, it's what we
But
gotta do.
We know that's not gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Assad has won the war, and these sanctions end up, immiserating the Syrian people. Assad is going to be able to eat 3 square meals a day. He can fly. He's not going to be made miserable. There are a lot of Syrian opposition members that see this as a way to punish Assad. James Jeffrey has, in his downtime, said that his job, is really about turning Syria into a quagmire for Russia and Iran. And then this is a quote from James Jeffrey, the special envoy for the United States to Syria. This isn't Afghanistan, which, fuck you, Afghanistan was a huge fucking.
Yeah.
It's not just a quagmire. We're still in that shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Vietnam.
Unfortunately.
Quoting him again. This isn't Vietnam. This isn't a quagmire. My job is to make a quagmire for the Russians. They're just admitting that they're just trying to fucking ruin this country. They just, cause as much fucking mayhem as possible.
If we can't have it, nobody can.
Yeah, and then cover it up and being like, oh well, it's for regime change behavior.
Yeah.
We're gonna starve everybody for regime change behavior. But yeah, ridiculous. All of it's bullshit. Get us the fuck out of Syria. Let them fucking control their own country. And
Yeah, lift the sanctions,
the
especially
very-
those
yeah, and
illegal
with all
sanctions
the
on
sanctions.
medicine.
Yeah,
The ones that are literally killing people.
yeah, exactly. Do we want to move to the next article?
Yeah. So I can go ahead and take it from here.
Yeah.
So very recently.
This is more on the topic of like quagmires for Russians in
Yeah.
Syria.
So
See what that leads up to.
very recently, just a couple days ago, there was a skirmish between U.S. and Russian troops in Syria, which is super scary. When I heard the story, I got a little anxiety. Can't lie. It's always a little scary when you hear U.S. and Russia in the same sense. So going into the article, the very just starting off with the title, U.S. service members injured in Syria after skirmish with Russian forces. 4 troops have been diagnosed with mild concussion-like symptoms, which really isn't that bad, but still always scary. Can always very quickly escalate.
I was gonna say Russia and U.S. in the same sentence isn't scary when it's mail order.
Yeah.
Russian U.S. to Russia mail order bride. That's a good
So,
sentence.
starting off from this article from Politico, U.S. service members were injured after an altercation with Russian forces in northeastern Syria on Tuesday, according to a draft military statement and a person familiar with the matter. 4 U.S. troops have been diagnosed with mild concussion-like symptoms after an incident involving Russian and coalition armored vehicles, according to the statement reviewed by Politico. A second U.S. source briefed on the matter confirmed that multiple U.S. troops were injured. After Politico first published this story on Wednesday, National Security Council spokesperson John Ulyat confirmed parts of the encounter in a statement, but did not say the injuries involved U.S. troops. The incident occurred around 10 a.m. Syrian time on Tuesday when a routine security patrol encountered Russian troops near Dayrik in northeast Syria, Ulyat said. A Russian vehicle struck a coalition vehicle, injuring its crew, he said, adding that the coalition patrol then left the area to de-escalate the situation. Ulyat condemned the Russian actions in the statement. Unsafe and unprofessional actions like this represent a breach of deconfliction protocols committed to by the U.S. and Russia in December of 2019. The coalition and the United States do not seek escalation with any national military forces, but we'll just go ahead and kill brown people. But U.S. forces always retain the inherent right and obligation to defend themselves from hostile acts. Pentagon spokespeople declined to comment on the number of types of injuries that they sustained. Joint Chiefs Chairman General Mark Milley spoke to his Russian counterpart,
General Flo Milley.
General Valery Gerasimov by telephone on Wednesday, according to a Pentagon statement, but the details of the conversation were not released. Moving down a little bit.
The reason these things aren't being released is because it was some fucking goofy ass situation.
Really quickly. The important part of the article I've already read through, but down here we just have this just straight up lie coming out of Politico. Let me burp really quick. The U.S. has roughly 500 troops in Syria, primarily in the northeastern part of the country. The American troops are fighting alongside the Syrian Democratic Forces to destroy the remnants of Islamic State militant group. That is a lie. We are there. We are there to steal natural resources, have control of the Middle East, and to further suppress the people of that region. This is just a straight up lie to say we're there just to fight ISIS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, they were like, oh, how they encountered each other? They were patrolling. Patrolling what?
yeah,
dog?
exactly. Patrolling fucking what?
We're on
Why
patrol
are you?
for ISIS.
We're on patrol for ISIS. What does ISIS look like?
You know any ISIS around here?
Yeah. Have you seen any? ISIS? Goats.
Yeah. You want goat cheese?
You want goat cheese? It's ISIS. Shoot him.
Yeah.
Drone strike on its way.
Drone strike.
um. Do you want to move into the Molly article? Jake, you want to take that over?
My precious wife.
My precious wife.
Dine with us in our goats. Please. Did you just speak Russian?
Did you just speak Russian?
So I had read about this when it was going down, actually. Basically, it was a relatively peaceful military coup in Mali, which is as any African country has been rife with U.S. regime change. But the reason it was peaceful is actually because the autocratic leaders, willingly stepped down. From Jacobin here, after the coup, Mali needs a change of direction, not just a change of leadership. Last week's coup in Mali came after weeks of protests against an unpopular autocratic ruler, but the intentions of the junta leaders remain unclear. The country now badly needs to address deep-rooted problems of the Malian state that have been neglected for much too long. Skipping the first president, Mali's president Ibrahim Boubacar Keita, this is the one that was just overthrown, re-elected 2 years ago, is resigning. Do I really have a choice? He asked the camera, or the soldiers around him. Another clip, not broadcast, shows IBK in the same chair, without a mask, eyes brimming and lips quivering. Last week's coup d'etat in Mali might have been the most foreseeable coup in years. But it's still amazing what a few men with assault rifles and SUVs can accomplish in West African politics. Tens of thousands of Malians have been in the streets of the capital, Bamako, on and off since Ramadan ended in May, to little avail. They were protesting over rigged legislative elections in April, but more broadly against the venality and corruption of the Keita regime, along with its failure to contain an exploding set of overlapping conflicts in the rural center and north of this vast, difficult country. Mali's protest movement. In early July, a surge of popular protests brought the largest crowds yet. Familiar story everywhere, obviously, like Belarus we had covered, into the streets following Friday prayer. After the rally and the speeches, things got heated. The National Assembly was sacked. The national broadcaster ransacked. Security forces, including anti-terrorist commandos, patrolled parts of the city. They shot 11 people dead. One of the country's most respected and influential religious leaders, Mahmoud Dicko, delivered the funeral prayers at his mosque. The movement he championed, known as the M5 RFP, now had martyrs, but no clear message. IBK out, read the signs in the street, and some members of the broad coalition demanded just that. Dicko hesitated. Hope it's not Dicko. If it's Dicko, that's funny. Asking for the resignation of the president may not have seemed to be a step too far, and the imam is not a politician. He had, however, decisively turned his back on the septuagenarian president who had curried Balas's favor. While Dicko emerged at the center of the tumultuous coalition, the louder voices in the street, the battle-scarred veterans of the revolutionary student movement of the 1990s, the anti-globalization activists, and the thousands and thousands of young men wanted IBK gone. Let's go down to where it says searching for Sankara. It's a couple down. To summarize the period in between there, that broad coalition movement that had rose in the 90s is starting to kind of reform around this, new movement where a bunch of young people are just kind of going out and protesting because the elections they assume were bullshit. So it's a familiar story to a lot of other places too, where maybe the cause necessarily isn't for these protests isn't some broad socialist movement, but it's transforming into that.
Yeah, I mean it's at least a step in the right direction.
Yeah, or it's
Shifting
being
the
channeled-
shifting the Overton window.
Yeah, well, it's just not starting that way, but it's becoming that way. over
Yeah.
time.
Like like you said earlier, Belarus.
Like
is
Belarus,
like
or
a perfect
here in
example.
some ways.
Yeah.
Back to the article, searching for Sankara. It's partly this disenchantment with the politicians, Sisa included, he's another guy trying to run, that makes apparently virtuous figures like Imam Diko or the members of the junta so welcome on the political scene. Diko does not seek public office, and he wields his considerable influence carefully. He has come to represent the moral authority of the M5 RFP movement, but it is a very broad coalition, including youth activists, African socialists, and trade unions. Among its leadership, some, like the firebrand ex-student leader Dr. Umar Mariko, or the filmmaker Cheikh Umar Sissoko, have a political perspective informed by the anti-globalization movement and the particular forms of African socialism that predated it. Among them, there are precedents for looking to the military when civilians have failed. The exemplar of that tradition, as we know, is Thomas Sankara, who governed neighboring Burkina Faso in the mid-1980s, but who was assassinated before he aged. Perhaps seeing the ghost of Sankara in 2012, many Malians welcomed the coup as salvation from the corrupt political class. This moment is similar. This vision of the soldiers as saviors might let them off too easily, however. WhatsApp is alive, with euphoric M5 RFP supporters insisting that the popular revolution has arrived. But it's much too soon to know, and the soldiers don't tend to be revolutionaries. Coups might look like popular revolutions, or even coincide with them, and people pushing for such revolutions might hail the arrival of young men in khaki and olive drab on the political scene. However, they are clearly not the same thing. We don't have to imagine that every young officer who arrests the president is the next Thomas Sankara. For every socialist hero like Sankara, there is more than one Moussa Dadi Camara, a coup leader who terrorized Guinea a decade ago. Soldiers stage coups for their own reason, which I think is I wanted to pick that part out because it is an important distinction to make. But it's also, it's the same thing with Burkina Faso though, with Thomas Sankara. Like, it really was a broad, military coup that maybe didn't necessarily have socialist ambitions. But then, Sankara and a certain group of people took over, and then they started doing things like, de-aerifying the country, planting millions of trees in that country, standing up to the World Bank and the IMF, trying not to do deals with the U.S. and France, etc., and trying to do deals with Russia and China instead. And yeah, that's what got him killed, but so there's two sides of this. The military, there's hope, but also we got to keep our nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
It's all about socialism, baby.
Right.
It's soldiers overthrowing shit is good, but it's got to be a vehicle for these
It's got to be a vehicle for the people to move in.
Yeah, exactly. Are we close to our?
Yeah, we're actually right
37
on
minutes
time.
in.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into our first break. Anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them out in chat. We're gonna just get a song going. You guys can go get some water, etc. Stretch it out. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. We have some music playing for you. Let's get the cameras cut. We'll be back in a couple, guys. Thank you for watching. Love you.
Sipping on vanilla Sprite. That's the name of this track, man. Yo. I can spit as far as I can flick a cigarette. When forged in adversity, good soul is what a nigga gets. Hoping for a bigger check, but it never comes along. Marcus, where that music at? Bitch, I made 12 songs, but you never listen. So get out my field of vision. So many choices in this life, and music's my decision. I'll go find a pot to piss in. I toss it in the alley. Now that's one for them boys back home, so chalk the tally. 1-0. Steady staring in that mirror, just talking to myself like a black Robert De Niro. As far as fear goes, I wish I never had it. 1,000 photos from the future linger in my attic. My lyrics static, that's why they're shocking when they touch. Yeah, I love my city, but the block is not enough. When you locked up in these cuffs, that Houdini couldn't leave. Last seconds to the game, I put an ace up on my sleeve. As we continue on this quest of aspiration, and these whack rappers make it and they bastardize the nation. So I changed the station. I'm never trying to hear it. All I'm catching are the same old beats and stale lyrics. What happened to the spirit? It's all coke and bitches. Live your life with the experience, them unspoken riches. I guess you wouldn't get it unless I hadn't said it. Oh, because I'm walking with confidence, now I'm big-headed. Forget it. Never let your talk penetrate my dome. Words leaving you dizzy like it driving forsaken home, mistaken clones. Twins underneath the palm tree, sipping pina coladas, just staring at a calm sea. My bad, I just vacation on my verse, and all I have is patience while I'm waiting on that hearse. Or maybe something worse, but who knows what comes first? The death or dishonor, it's the samurai's curse.
You're cruel and miserable people, because none of you respond to love.
Sipping on vanilla Sprite. That's the name of this track, man. Yo. I can spit as far as I can flick a cigarette. When forged in adversity, good soul is what a nigga gets. Hoping for a bigger check, but it never comes along. Marcus, where that music at? Bitch, I made 12 songs, but you never listen. So get out my field of vision. So many choices in this life, and music's my decision. I'll go find a pot to piss in. I toss it in the alley. Now that's one for the boys back home, so chalk the tally. 1-0. Steady staring in that mirror, just talking to myself like a black Robert De Niro. As far as fear goes, I wish I never had it. 1,000 photos from the future linger in my attic. My lyrics static, that's why they're shocking when they touch. Yeah, I love my city, but the block is not enough. When you locked up in these cuffs, that Houdini couldn't leave. Last seconds to the game, I put an ace up on my sleeve. As we continue on this quest of aspiration, and these whack rappers make it and they bastardize the nation. So I changed the station. I'm never trying to hear it. All I'm catching are the same old beats and stale lyrics. What happened to the spirit? It's all coke and bitches. Live your life with the experience, them unspoken riches. I guess you wouldn't get it unless I hadn't said it. Oh, because I'm walking with confidence, now I'm big-headed. Forget it. Never let your talk penetrate my dome. Words leaving you dizzy like it driving forsaken home, mistaken clones. Twins underneath the palm tree, sipping pina coladas, just staring at a calm sea. My bad, I just vacation on my verse, and all I have is patience while I'm waiting on that hearse. Or maybe something worse, but who knows what comes first? The death or dishonor, it's the samurai's curse.
Hello. Welcome.
Kings.
We
How's
are
everyone doing?
back.
Hope everybody
Good.
enjoyed their break. Let's give everybody a second to come back from getting their water, etc. Then we will
Use
hop
the
right
bathroom.
back into it. We're going to be getting started talking about Siberian methane craters.
Okay.
Whenever Jacan is ready, we can go ahead and get on that.
Not to clip in the chat, but poverty in Argentina is not 52%. Maybe it is now among COVID, and it's like recent neoliberal turn that's completely privatized all the strides that leftists have made in Argentina. But famously, in the last, like, I don't know, 40 years, Argentina has had more, like, actual fucking leftists get into power. And that's why they haven't devolved as much as all the other South American countries that have, you know, neo-libbed out as fuck. But,
I mean, it seems like
yeah, I
you know,
mean,
there's a lot of people, you know, like along the lines of Lula, you know, who started taking power in
yes.
South America. Yeah. So a
Well,
lot of
really, the only
progress
two
is-
countries that were like that, well, Bolivia too, but Brazil, Bolivia, Peru, and for a long time it was Argentina too. So yeah,
And just look what they did to Lula. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like if you need proof of their power, look what they did to Lula. Yeah, but yeah. You're wrong. Wrong. What's our first? Is it the Siberian?
We're starting off with methane.
Yeah. So if you guys didn't catch us in the news, this one kind of batted my eye. You know, we have heard that the permafrost out there in Siberia has been thawing, which has, you know, released a bunch of methane and, you know, God knows fucking what else. And, you know, it's one of those feedback loops where as it gets hot, it's gonna release more methane. It's gonna get hotter. It's gonna make it melt more. It's gonna release more methane. But now these like giant methane, you know, pockets that have formed under the snow are starting to pop up. And this recent one, I'll read from the article. A giant new 50-meter deep crater opens up in Arctic tundra.
Jesus Christ.
It's huge, dude.
Chill.
Blocks of soil and ice thrown hundreds of meters from epicenter of the funnel at the Yamal Peninsula. The recently formed new hole or funnel is the latest to be seen in northern Siberia since the phenomenon was first registered in 2014. So this has only been recently happening, and I think this is the biggest one they found. It was initially spotted by chance from the air by a Vesti Yamal TV crew en route from an unrated assignment. A group of scientists then made an expedition to examine the large cylindrical crater, which has a depth of up to 50 meters. Such funnels are believed to be caused by the buildup of methane gas in pockets of thawing permafrost under the surface. You could go through and show some of those, you know, alternative pictures.
Look how just fucking insane
I
that
like
hole
the one
looks.
with all the people standing beside it. You can.
Just looks like a giant.
Yeah,
asshole.
look, that puts it
Nerds.
into perspective right there. Look how fucking tiny those humans look.
Do the one that's
Yeah.
right after that one though, because it shows the depth of it. Yeah, there you go. That's the one that was
Yeah.
crazy. Thank God we have scientists too, because like if like we ran across this, I'd be like, oh yeah, aliens just shot a missile into Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
That's 100% what just happened.
Oh,
yeah.
we're all dying right
Yeah.
now.
I'm trying to find out who's the avatar and shit.
I'm fucking jumping in it and shit.
Who's
Hoping
the
I get
avatar?
superpowers.
Yeah, this just, yeah. Jump in and go to the other side. Yeah, boom. You go to the interstellar thing with all the cables.
Holy fuck.
You're all opening the books. Dad, is that you? Reading from the rest of it, scientist Dr. Evgeny Chuvalin, a leading researcher at Skolvo Institute of Science and Technology, said, "What we saw today is striking in its size and grandeur. These are the colossal forces of nature that create such objects. The crater these holds are called, excuse me if I butcher this, hydrolaccoliths, or I'm not going to even pronounce the next one, by scientists, is given the number 17 and is seen as the most impressive of the large holes that suddenly appeared in recent years as the permafrost thaws." Professor Vasily Bolony of the Russian Oil and Gas Research Institute in Moscow told Vesti Yamal, "This object is unique. It carries a lot of additional scientific information, which I am not yet ready to disclose." Yeah, so there's fucking, yeah, they found the last
There's some
airbender.
shit.
Yeah, there's some shit going on. But I mean, of real shit we know, the planet's falling apart, obviously.
Oh yeah.
due to, as I was explaining to this Argentinian fellow in our chat, the Koch brothers, dude, fucking these libertarian nut jobs that are, I can burn my shit anywhere. I can burn as much fossil fuels as I want. Well, this is what's gonna happen. It's gonna melt fucking, get the planet hotter. It's melting the permafrost. Those are gonna open those huge fucking craters of methane, and now we're just screwed, dude. Yeah, and we try to cover something on climate pretty much every show.
Yeah, and then keeping on task with talking about climate, our very own DNC, our very own Democratic Party, sneakily after the convention where they all voted in favor of the resolution, they sneakily took out their measure that calls for like ending of subsidies for fossil fuel. You want to pull up the article, Carlos?
Shameless.
So yeah, starting off with the title, DNC removes measure calling for end of fossil fuel subsidies from the platform. Scrolling down in this article from The Hill, starting off at the very top, the Democratic National Committee has quietly removed a portion of its climate platform, saying it wants to end subsidies to fossil fuel company, the Huffington Post reported. Party officials in July added an amendment that said Democrats support eliminating tax breaks and subsidies for fossil fuel and will fight to defend and extend tax incentives for energy efficiency and clean energy, to a group of provisions that were approved together, according to the news outlet. However, that language does not appear to be in the final version of the party's platform. A DNC spokesperson told the HuffPost in a statement that the amendment was incorrectly included and removed after an error was discovered, and that error obviously means their corporate overlords are like, hey, we don't like this fucking policy. Get that shit the fuck out of this. What the fuck do you think you're doing? You want to lose all this money that we're giving you? It's like,
there's an error, blood.
Yeah, there's an error in this policy. Anyway, continuing on, the DNC spokespeople didn't immediately respond to Hill's request for a comment. Although the party has decided not to endorse ending fossil fuel subsidies, it is in a position that for its nominee, former Vice President Joe Biden has endorsed. The Biden plan will be paid for by reversing the excesses of Trump tax cuts for corporations, reducing incentives for tax havens, evasion, and outsourcing, ensuring corporations pay their fair share, closing other loopholes in our tax code that reward wealth, not work, and ending subsidies for fossil fuel, as climate plan says. The party's 2016 platform also called for ending fossil fuel subsidies. Where are they? Nope. Environmental activists blasted the DNC's action on social media. This move plays directly into the pockets of the oil and gas executives and lobbyists who've been vying for handouts for decades, and this is a slap in the face for our movements for climate justice, tweeted Greenpeace. So this is just your normal.
Handouts.
This is your normal, just slimy, greasy, sneaky DNC shit, and it shows how absolutely spineless the party is. They talk all this talk to try to get all these hapless liberals on their side and to vote for them, with all this talk of progressive action, just to take language out of actual legislation that would actually do something. And they're probably going to continue to harp on this point, or harp on points similar, and pretend that there's still this arbiter of progressive justice when we're in the the most progressive candidate in the Democratic Party history, Joseph Robinette Biden. Absolutely, nobody's more progressive than him in America ever. Nope. Mm-mm.
It's the next FDR.
Yeah, exactly. He said it, so it must be true. So yeah, I mean,
he's the next FDR because they were born in the same year.
Yeah,
that's why.
But yeah, I just thought that was disgusting, and it was important because it's like happening now, and it's also telling of what this party really represents, and what we're gonna expect come November election time.
Yeah, so don't expect any fucking change coming from, or this whole fucking notion that we're gonna push Biden to the left or some shit.
Yeah,
that's how we're gonna get some concessions, is through the Biden administration. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
man, they're not gonna give a shit, dude. They're the second, part. Thing one of the corporate party is the Republicans. Thing two is fucking the Democrats, and we're the fucking cat in the hat. We're just getting buffooned. Some bullshit.
Keeping on topic with Democrats, let's talk about the CIA, baby.
Yeah, our producer Shane, you want to take this one?
Yeah.
I think
I brought it up.
you're the one that found
I gotta
this.
do it. Yes. We all love the CIA, don't we?
We do.
Well, as
if you're a part of the
Jim
CIA,
from The Office said, Jim from The Office is like, I would love to be in the CIA. That's my favorite. Fuck that guy. What's his real name?
I can't.
Who cares? Yeah. Yeah, the actor, the real. No, Jim Halpert. I mean, his Jim Halpert's real name.
Dude, I
Fuck
don't
him.
remember.
Fuck him. CIA
Fuck him.
tool.
So
Yeah, whatever.
You can see here we got 3 of them right here. Left, right. Cal Cunningham.
Oh, John.
In the middle, I think someone you might recognize, Amy McGrath.
Mwah.
And
Beautiful.
MJ Higar. To the right.
Oh, what did you just say?
Hager.
Whoa.
Listen, when you're saying his name, please use the A.
All right, now we're a
Or her
libertarian
name.
podcast.
Yeah.
When you
Hey, keep in mind,
Now we have to start a military junta in fucking
So-
Nicaragua, and we're good.
if everyone wanted to give their message to this gentleman or nice person here in the chat, I don't have a problem, with libertarianism for, the individual doing, things within their means. The problem with libertarianism is, when you try applying it to, large corporations, big industries.
Exactly.
Because
I have the right to pollute here.
Yeah.
Exactly. We pretend they're people, but they're fucking these massive conglomerates that can have the ability to ruin our lives.
Because if you're really concerned, about like pollution, for example, corporations pollute, hundreds of times more than individuals, could, even if they tried.
What's that thing?
100 companies make
70%.
76% of the emissions.
Fucking world pollution. Yes, it's like fuck
So you
off.
have things like so you have things like the plastic straw ban in California here in the States, which take away from our individual liberty to use whatever straw we want, because it makes us feel better about pollution. When in reality, it's not like we contribute. I think plastic straws are like 0.006 or something % of pollution. So we really need.
Well, yeah, that whole plastic straw thing was just a.
But it's just, but it's an example, and it infringes on our individual liberties, is what I'm saying. But
yeah, we get cardboard straws here.
Just so I can end it off real quick, and a lot of the pollution that does come from individuals, is stemmed from the products of these large corporations as well. So I mean, it all cycles back.
And really quick, Mr. Godek, we're not saying that we're not saying that you believe these things. We're just saying American right libertarians like to apply this logic. They like to apply this logic to get away with evil corporatism. And so how you just said, since it doesn't, so you don't pollute just your backyard, that is true. But they like.
But when you have multinational corporations that don't give a fuck where they pollute because they can live anywhere on the earth. These mega fucking billionaires, it doesn't matter. Plus, these people are clinically insane, too. Wealth has corrupted them so badly that they just think that there's limitless profit and they can just destroy this planet. It's a known fact because it's happening. We've pretty much never had inequality this bad, and climate change is fucking devastating the planet.
We're already
libertarian
no return.
Libertarianism and pollution go hand in hand because someone has to play ref when it comes to corporations. If there's no one to play ref in the game, people are just going to do whatever the fuck they want.
Mr. Godek, really quick. Yeah, I completely agree. Libertarian means something completely different in different places in the world.
Depends who you ask.
Of course.
American right libertarians are definitely different from
American right-wing libertarianism is its whole own thing. Corporate libertarianism.
Yeah. So when for future reference, if you decide to stay around, when talking about libertarianism,
That's
remember
generally
that's
what, yeah.
we're talking about right libertarianism, United States of America,
And
etc.
obviously, normal libertarianism has its problems too that we would think, but at least
Yeah.
they're fucking principled to some degree.
I'd say yeah, the arguments there kind of stem, what are the effects of what you yourself do to yourself?
Yeah.
What do those effects have inconsequentially on others? We can get into that debate, but not right now.
Yeah.
I want to do.
Yeah,
this.
it's CIA time.
Yeah,
So,
please stick around. We
Sorry.
really appreciate the
thank you
chat
for doing that.
interaction.
We
Yeah, it's really
appreciate it.
cool. We're gonna get
It's
back
fun to
into the
talk.
show, and yeah, it is fun to talk. On our breaks, we can type with you.
All right.
So yeah, let's get back into the show.
I'm going to read here from the article. In the course of the 2018 elections, a large group of former military intelligence operatives entered capitalist politics as candidates seeking the Democratic Party nomination in 50 congressional seats. Nearly half of these seats were Democrats, where the Democrats were targeting Republican incumbents or open seats created by Republican retirements. Some of these 30 candidates won primary contests and became the Democratic candidates in the November 2018 election, and 11 of them won the general election. More than 1/4 of the 40 previously Republican-held seats captured by the Democrats as they took control of the House of Representatives. In 2020, the intervention of the CIA Democrats continues on what is arguably an equally significant scale. Besides the re-election campaigns of the 11 representatives who won in the House in 2018, half a dozen of those who lost 2018 races are running again in 2020. Some of these are running for House seats again, while others have been promoted by the Democratic Party leadership and are running for the U.S. Senate, like Amy McGrath,
Right.
who was promoted, as we remember, by pretty much the whole national DNC
Yeah, and who sadly took out Charles Booker.
in a
they rolled
very
her out big
contested
time.
race.
Some would say quite possibly rigged.
I'm
It's-
not
you gotta-
100% sure,
Most
but
definitely.
You had a lot of voter suppression in
Besides
very
Buttigieg, fucking Iowa, it was the most sketchy race of the year.
no, yeah, like
do you guys remember
in Booker districts, the amount of polling location there was what's the capital of that there was like one polling location in the whole city, like right outside the yeah,
Topeka?
it was right out no fuck it, what city was it? But yeah, there was like one polling location that's super populated.
I think it was
city.
Louisville, no?
I think it was Louisville. One
which is
polling
like-
location.
Where
Where there by far is not just the most people, but the most fucking libs too. Like the most young people. No, where Jack Harlow's from.
Yeah.
But
Hey, Mr. Godek, really quick. Have a good night, man. We're gonna be here every Wednesday, every single Wednesday, same time. Make sure to hop in. Thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank
All
you
the
guys
people
for the
watching right now. We
follows.
have quite a few viewers.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Yeah, see you next Wednesday, man. Yeah,
If you
wanna get
stick
back-
around long enough, I will be fisting myself.
we will be bread pilling too.
In the
TOS
private after show.
Yeah. But it's free.
game.
You just got to know where to find
Yeah.
it.
Good night, you crazy leftist. I love it.
The propaganda will seep in. Don't worry.
It will.
Okay.
So yeah, Carlos,
So-
if you want to hop back in, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The point I was trying to make is I think I'm not 100% sure if that was the race where the state Democratic Party was differing from the National Democratic Party on the candidates they were supporting. So it goes to show, even there that, the Democratic Party really is, starting to show its, factions,
Yeah.
where the, National Party can't just, control what happens in the states as much anymore. People actually
Right.
want to say.
I mean, yeah, because when you're pulling resources, try to carry this fucking dead horse of a candidate over the finish line, you lose your hold on the states.
Okay.
And not only that, just the natural progression of the citizens.
I guess from their twisted fucking logic, holding down the presidency is all that's important because they've given so much power to the presidency and like
Oh,
recent. Yeah.
Okay, here I'll go back to the article real quick. Bottom line, at least 34 Democratic candidates for the House of Representatives have a primarily military intelligence background, up from 30 in 2018, as well as 3 of the party's 35 candidates for the U.S. Senate, compared to 0 in 2018. For each branch of Congress, this represents about 10% of the total. So yeah, quite a lot, and they do start going down, in this article. It's quite lengthy, and they start listing these candidates, what they're known for, some stuff about them.
What leftists they've killed and what fucking coups they've done.
Yeah, real detailed here, into which individual races.
Yeah, jeez.
So
read some of these off though. It's crazy. Some of these candidates, they're just straight up fucking CIA dudes.
yeah.
Dude, fucking 10-year veteran of the Air Force. Well, look at Andy Kim there. Andy Kim, New Jersey's 3rd Congressional District. Civilian war planner and advisor to U.S. military commanders in Afghanistan.
Iraq director of National Security Council under Obama.
Yeah, and think about that. She's just New Jersey's 3rd Congressional District. Like, there's just CIA ops on the lowest level.
It's like a weird revolving door.
That's crazy. Civilian war planner and advisor.
Look at that, Max Rose towards the bottom. New York 11th Congressional Army combat officer in Afghanistan, still in active reserves.
Still? Oh wow.
That's interesting. Did you want to keep going with the article here? Or do we want to?
George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, George.
I don't want to spend a ton of time.
J. Edgar Hoover.
I think everyone's got the good message from it.
But yeah, that was a good one. Check out Popular Resistance. They're good. They usually have some pretty good stuff there.
Do we want to talk about Citibank Obabe? You want to get into that one?
Citibank Obunga.
Also another one I dug up. This one's a little bit related to something else I was going to show, but I think we'll save it for another time. But Mr. Barack Obama, as the Republicans would call him,
his name.
Barack Hussein Obama, according to the
don't forget the word
Party.
Barack Islam.
Barack Saddam Insane Obama. Never forget his full name.
It's so funny how many names there's been about him. So.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Dude, it was like, as much as I hate Obama, people were so fucking racist when he was president.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me?
Right.
Every name they had
That's just America.
That is just America. I think I had interactions with my grandparents who were like, so how about that spear chucker as president?
Oh yeah, dude, my grandparents were the worst.
Yep. Just
You're like, why don't we just talk
really
about
was a
him
different
drone
time.
kids? Why do we gotta be racist?
Yeah, grandparents can.
I think.
Sorry to interrupt, Carlos.
With that, no, it's cool. Fucking interrupt me all night long. I do not care. Oh yeah.
That's save it for the post game. Save it for the post game.
Hey.
Put the buns back up.
No, but I think I noticed, with the older generations, it's a lot more, subconscious. I think, it's not even hatred, kind of racism. It's just
that's what they grew up in.
Yeah.
Like
my nicest people when they're not around black people.
My Texas grandma casually just shares Breitbart articles on her Facebook. It's like Jesus, dude, or the Blaze. It's or Daily Caller, the Tucker Carlson shit.
Y'all fuck with Rex Tillerson. Rex Tillerson really has an opinion.
So
and yeah.
So this
Jose,
man.
Let's look at Obama's fucking.
People did burn Obama
Obama's,
figures after he got elected. It's true.
Obama is quite the man of controversy. A lot of fact, a lot of myth, whole lot of myth, but
whole lot of innocent drone strike.
Let's get to some facts about Mr. Barack Obama here. Say what you want about his record, the things that he did, but before he was elected president, as we all know, you got to raise a lot of money. You need a hell of a lot of money to be president, in this day and age. And Barack Obama rose to the challenge. Here we are on opensecrets.org. Here they list Obama's top donors. Now, keep in mind, they do explicitly say, that this is not, lump sum donations. It's largely made up of, individual contributions, often ranging in a very high amounts.
This doesn't include all his speeches too, huh?
Nope.
Like all those expensive ass, $100,000 speeches he'll give.
Oh, this is just
This
the
is just
2000
literal.
the 2008 election cycle.
Yeah, just the top.
And here it says
J.P. Morgan Chase.
It says here at the bottom the total, $386 million. So, quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
And
just really quick, the ones that
read some that stand out.
IBM, the Department of Justice,
Goldman
fucking
Sachs,
Citigroup, Google, J.P. Morgan Chase,
and
Goldman Sachs.
Citigroup was a famous one.
Hey, Morgan Stanley, Oxnard represent.
I was just looking at that.
What's that one at the bottom? Kenya Incorporated?
Yeah. What is that? Antifa?
Org?
George Soros?
Some of these I don't like.
Pizza?
What is Scott and Arps? Obviously, that's some fucking conglomerate. That's ass.
Sidley Austin? I think Sidley Austin's industrial complex shit. I think they're a defense contractor.
Time Warner should fuck Time Warner. That should.
Yeah.
Everyone hates Time Warner. Let's all rally around that one.
ISPs should not exist.
Fucking.
No, Sidley Austin. I was wrong. That's it's a law firm.
So I think the biggest thing that stands out about all these names is, wouldn't you say that these people were quite successful in Obama's years as president?
Yeah.
I mean,
course.
Their names are,
they pay him the most money.
Their names are, just as prevalent today as they were back then, if not more so. So I'd say
Does Norman Williams
they made a good investment.
Norman Williams does sound familiar.
Norman Reedus.
Norman. Just Walking Dead. But yeah, good to bring that one up because it's good to remember who fucking Obama's is beholden to.
And if that's the so-called leader of the Democratic Party, and subsequent leaders, follow suit.
Well, look what he's done. Earlier, we know he made some famous calls, some meetings to kill our boy Bernie by making everyone drop out and coalesce around Biden. But let's bring up what he's done recently. I'm sure you all already heard.
Busting more balls, baby.
I'll just read this from this tree here. LeBron James led a small group of players who sought advice of Barack Obama on Wednesday. And the former president offered them guidance to continue playing with plan of action. I've watched almost every NBA game. They have done virtually nothing different from the. They have more meaningless, shirts that say enough on them and stuff. Some platitudes.
More vote masks.
More vote, yeah. They allow the player. At least they have given more time for the individual players to speak. But that's only so much too.
Yeah.
As we pointed out, the greatest thing they had was actually striking together and showing them hey, we make things run here with the players. And I don't know exactly how it went down because they didn't report. Did the players call on Obama because someone knew Obama, or did one of the owners know Obama so they called Obama, or what really happened?
I heard that he had his tan suit on when he met up with LeBron. I heard
that. One scandal. But he showed up and diffused this whole thing, killed this strike.
Because that's what Obama's good at.
Yeah, because obviously all these players, a lot of them aren't that politically conscious. Let's just be real.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure
They're
Obama is and they are well off. And Obama's he was the first and only black president, and is something important to some degree.
Oh yeah.
He just discussing on Obama's part, he swindled them. He came in and just fucking straight fucked on these guys.
He said nothing's gonna change, but you're gonna get back and fucking play ball.
You're gonna shut the hell up and play basketball.
Bounce that fucking ball, buddy.
He's doing the same thing as Laura Ingram.
Yep.
Well, the
He's just not
agreement was wasn't it supposed to be that there'd be some kind of a committee that the NBA would set up, you know, to look into like these issues or something like that.
Yes.
It really is, you know, it's basically what Bernie did to concede to Biden. He got these, you know, BS empty task force.
Yeah, trust us in the process to do this. But it's like our whole point is the process isn't working. Everything's broken. They're not willing to give us even a little bit.
I wanted to play the clip from a new one from Richard Wolff, but he mentioned, you know, that these things happen, you know. People get out in the streets and they protest, you know, and changes are starting to be made, and, you know, and then they have these, you know, compromises, you know, where they look into the issues and, you know, reports are done and we find out how bad it is and nothing changes.
Exactly.
You know, they look into it and they find out how horrible it is, but they don't change it.
Yeah, I mean that's how we get all this information. We know all these horrible things that are happening, but nothing's fucking changed.
They don't act on what we've learned.
Do we want to hit a short commercial? So
let's hit one more break and then come back and end it off strong. Everybody, thank you for sticking by. It's glad to see everybody's here and supporting us.
We'll keep it short so you guys stay here.
Yeah, please don't go. Very quick break. Just bathroom water, a little bit of stretching. Make sure the blood's flowing.
Literally just only one finger in the ass.
Yeah.
Not three.
Minimal cooming. All right, let's get these cameras cut and music on. We'll be right back, everybody.
Love you.
Wake up alone in the morning with no one at my side. Could it be I've waited too long, waiting for the lucky one? My sweetheart, where are you? I need someone to spend time with, to give and share all my life. Back in bed,
Bing, bing, bong,
it's
bong.
3 a.m. with no one at my side. It gets real cold because these blankets will never warm my heart. My sweetheart, where are you? I need someone to spend time with, to give and share all my love. My sweetheart, where are you? I need someone to spend time with, to give and share all my love. My sweetheart, where are you? I need someone to spend time with, to give and share all my love. you're the lucky one. My sweetheart, where are you? I need someone to spend time with, to give and share all my life. Back in bed, it's 3 a.m. with no one at my side. It gets real cold because these blankets will never warm my heart. My sweetheart, where are you? I need someone to spend.
Comes on fucking phone. How do
I
I?
look up from my
Do people
phone
wear
and I
headphones
just
with
see.
these?
I come back.
I don't think you can.
I've been radicalized. I'm here. I want your jewels and I want your capital. I will
Wait, this
take.
kinda works.
I will not take no for an answer.
Hold up. Happy Eid Mubarak.
Eid Mubarak. Anyways, let's get back into the show. Hope everybody had a
yes.
good break.
Where do you go?
What'd you do with Ian, bro?
What'd you do at the end?
Listen, man. Get back with show. This is my show now.
Wait, aren't you the guy that works at my corner store? You're the guy with the coke nail, right? There's, I don't know if it's the same guy. I think there's a guy that works at like 3 of the corner stores here.
He just rotates.
I think he does.
Did
Either
I?
that or he follows me.
He might. I follow you.
Mm.
Mm.
Should we bust out Bernie Sanders video? Since we
Yes, please. Let's talk about.
just did the Obungler, we should do someone opposite energy with a little lo-fi to bring everybody back.
And while we watch this video, I have something beeping in the living room. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Fire alarm. This fire alarm
I think
house is
Ian, the
actually
real
really
Ian is
cool.
dead. Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and do this then.
Let's play it.
You surprised everybody with this victory, including media. And not all media has been consistently attentive to you. Isn't that right?
I think what people were saying is, well, gee, Ronald Reagan is a right-wing guy, and what happened in Burlington, Vermont? And I think the answer to that is, I don't believe personally that the majority of people in America believe in Ronald Reagan's ideology. What happened was that Jimmy Carter failed. I think that's just clear as everybody, Mr. Carter would probably admit it. And people are looking for an alternative. Mr. Reagan, with hundreds of millions of dollars behind him, with sophisticated media use and so forth and so on, was able to say to the people, we are the alternative. Now, obviously, what we are trying to do, people like myself all around the country are saying, wait a minute, you're going to find out very soon that this guy is not the alternative. There are other alternatives.
Okay. I know these are terribly complicated questions, and our time is up.
Sounds like a very familiar situation where Bernie ran again.
I love lo-fi Sanders.
Well, let's play the rest of this, at least this interview.
So you don't believe in the profit motive, free enterprise? If I have a better mousetrap, I make more money.
There's something to be said for free enterprise on a local level and competition. But what we're happening in our society is we don't live in a free enterprise society. You live in a corporate capitalist society where in virtually every single industry you have giant multi-billion-dollar corporations competing, driving the small businessman
But let's
out.
pretend it would work without all that kind of acquisition of power that is unfair and doesn't.
Do I believe that the profit motive is fundamental to human nature? The answer is no. I think the spirit of cooperation, that you and I can work together better rather than having to compete against each other and destroy each other.
I love Bernie Sanders.
That is why I fucking love that man.
I love Bernard
What a-
Sanders.
what a
Say what
straw
you want
man.
about him. Say what you want about some
From
of his
the
policy
interviewer.
decisions. But the
what a strong man with the interview.
the simplistic way that he describes what he feels and how long he's been supporting and feeling these things.
Well, his problem that he pointed
Well,
out
if we
was
didn't have these big greedy capitalists, I mean, let's just act.
Yeah.
It's like too bad that we
but
do,
they're
buddy.
built in.
with him
it's a part
pointing
of the
out like
system.
how Carter dropped the ball, and then people made a right wing turn towards Reagan. I mean, same shit happened. people want to change, and some grassroots shit kind of did get behind Obama, and then Obama's a neolib.
Obama dropped the ball, and we have Trump now.
And we have Trump, and Bernie's like, I don't want that, so I'm gonna run, and then they fucking killed him.
They did everything in their power. They would rather lose to Trump than win with Bernie, because Bernie disrupts the current status.
It's because he's Jewish, actually.
Yep, it's actually all anti-Semitism.
I mean, Benjamin Netanyahu's never been our president. That's proof to me.
I think we should elect Benjamin Netanyahu.
Should we get into some serious stuff? Some articles? More articles?
Of course. Please. I will go ahead and take over. We're going to be talking about the payroll tax, and Trump has been talking about making serious cuts and or just permanently getting rid of the payroll tax. Let me burp. Delicious. Anyway, so top of the article, NBC. Terminating payroll tax could end Social Security benefits in 2023. Chief actuary warns. Scrolling down to the very top, Washington. The federal government's ability to pay Social Security benefits could stop by mid-2023 if President Donald Trump were to permanently eliminate the payroll tax and not offer another revenue source. The chief actuary of Social Security Administration said Monday. The chief actuary, Stephen Goss, offered the prediction in a letter to a group of Senate Democrats who requested an analysis of what would happen if the payroll tax is eliminated with no other funding stream for Social Security benefits. If that were to happen in January of next year, which is when he said he's going to do it if he wins big November 3rd. If we were to win,
they set the debate day.
No, I haven't seen any of that.
They set it for September 28th or 9th. I don't think it's going to happen still, but we'll see.
If it does, just know we're covering it, everybody.
Is this what he's doing to win over voters? Or
it sounds like a threat.
I don't think this is a winning move, to be honest.
No, this is a horrible idea.
Because all the Democrats need to do before we get back into the article is just harp on what this is going to do to Social Security. Like, they need to, but they're not. The Democrats are terrible.
Yeah.
They're not going to fight back. They don't have a backbone. But if they seriously cared about winning, they would harp on this point nonstop and shit on Trump for trying to get rid of Social Security.
Then that's why I was so confused. I was like, then why is he proposing this idea?
Because he wants like tax cuts. I want to do the tax cuts. We need more money. It's the pandemic. Why would I give you stimulus?
He's a master tactician.
So yeah, getting back into the article.
If it won't lose some voters.
Yeah. If that were to happen in January of next year, the Social Security Administration estimates the Disability Insurance Trust Fund asset reserves would become permanently depleted in about the middle of the calendar year 2021, with no ability to pay for disability benefits thereafter, Goss said. For the main Social Security Old Age and Survivors Insurance, OASI, trust fund and for retired workers, Goss said that they predict reserves would be permanently depleted by the middle of the calendar year 2023, with no ability to pay OASI benefits thereafter. In a statement reacting to the estimate, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, said President Trump's plan to eliminate Social Security dedicated funding would, or otherwise known as Nancy Pelosi's bitch, dedicated funding would endanger senior Social Security and could mean the end of Social Security as we know it by 2023. There it is. Speak of the devil. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, California, said that the analysis shows that the swift potential devastation of President Trump's reckless call to terminate the payroll tax, shattering the sacred promise of Social Security. Sadly, I'm not drunk, so I can't talk like Nancy Pelosi, but read that in her voice. All the platitudes included.
Nancy,
just play this video at half speed.
Some of your ice cream.
The letter from Goss came in response to a request from Schumer and Senator Bernie Sanders and Ron Wyden. After Trump said he would permanently cut the payroll tax if he's reelected in November. Earlier this month, he said in the press conference in Bedminster, New Jersey, "If I'm victorious on November 3rd, I plan to forgive these taxes, make permanent cuts to the payroll tax. I'm going to make them all permanent." Trump, however, wouldn't be able to terminate the payroll tax unilaterally, and they just go on to say that the Democrats are going to stop him, even though they probably won't. They'll probably concede. And even if it's not getting rid of the payroll tax completely, it's probably going to be some super shitty Republican tax cut that's going to end up hurting your average worker and you. debate. The Democrats will most likely they might stop the complete removal of the payroll tax, but they will not stop you from getting fucked.
Yeah, because
if he's reelected
under Obama and Bush too, but they've been part of the whole cutting Social Security up until this point too. So it's like all the money that could also be in Social Security, the debt they claim Social Security.
I mean, all the money that could be in all of our social programs, but
but Obama, famously fucking
and what are social programs?
Social Security.
The bottom floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you remove the bottom floor, guess what? People are gonna fall below it.
All right, hard transition here. Speaking about the death of Social Security, let's talk about suicide. Jacan, go ahead.
Do you think Chuck Schumer calls Nancy Pelosi BDSM mommy?
Oh yeah, 100%. He says, "Mommy, can I talk to the news today?"
Mommy,
kitten, you're making me very upset. Come
I
with
have
this adrenochrome.
Yeah.
Adrenochrome.
He's
Mommy,
definitely
can I have some
calling her
adrenochrome? I'm aging. Kitten, come here.
Yes, Queen Pelosi.
She goes, Chuck, there's nothing I can give you that will help that.
Go fetch me the whiskey, Chuck.
Chuck is what I imagine Pangloss looks like. It's like that nose should fall off.
That nose is fake.
Give it a Chuck Schumer.
You're the nose doctor, so you know all about real noses.
Yeah, and it's true. This isn't actually my real nose. This is my temporary nose. I take this one off before I go to bed, and then let's go.
Chuck
We have to do some
Chuck
levity
Schumer,
because
the ironic minority leader.
I am the minority leader. There's not a lot of Jews in Congress, is there? I'm the minority. Anyways, we have to have some levity because this article from Glenn Greenwald here, The Intercept. The social fabric of the U.S. is fraying severely, if not unraveling. The subheadline: Why in the world's richest country is every metric of mental health pathology rapidly worsening? I'm actually going to kind of skip the beginning because it kind of just goes into everything. All these things are happening. These climate change is destroying us. A giant pandemic is happening. We all know this.
Yeah.
Going down to where it says one question posed by researchers. One question posed by researchers was whether someone has seriously considered suicide in the past 30 days.
Yes.
Not fleetingly considered it as a momentary fantasy, nor thought about it ever in their lifetime, but seriously considered suicide at least once in the past 30 days. The results are staggering. For Americans between 18 to 24 years old, 25.5%, just over 1 out of every 4 young Americans said that they had. Crazy.
I'd imagine it would be a high number.
Yeah. 25% for people our age.
There's 4 of us in this call.
Well, good thing it's all 4 of us.
Yeah, good thing it's literally all 4 of us.
For the much larger group of Americans, ages 25 to 44, the percentage was somewhat lower, but still extremely alarming. 16%. Which that worries me. That's my, it's my parents too. It's like, I don't think parents being fucking suicidal, but a total of 18.6% of Hispanic Americans and 15% of African Americans said that they had seriously considered suicide in the past month. The 2 groups with the largest percentage who said yes: Americans with less than a high school degree and unpaid caregivers. That's very sad to hear. Both of whom have 30%, almost 1 out of every 3 who answered in the affirmative. A full 10% of the U.S. population generally had seriously contemplated suicide in the month of June.
To put it in perspective, that's literally millions. Literally millions of people.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Be what, like 130 million?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're skipping that paragraph. The alarming CDC data extends far beyond serious suicidal desires. It also found that 40.9% of respondents responded at least one adverse mental or behavioral health condition, including symptoms of anxiety disorder or depressive disorder, 30% of people, Symptoms of a trauma and stressor-related disorder, 26% related to the pandemic. And having started or increased substance use to cope with stress or emotions related to COVID-19, 13%. For the youngest part of the adult population, ages 18 to 24, significantly more than half, 62.9%, reported suffering from depressive or anxiety disorders. So our generation's getting their asshole fucking ripped right now.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, 60% is.
Yes.
Yeah, the majority of us. It's crazy.
And really quick, going back, Carlos said they're like ballpark 30 million. That's like almost the population of California.
Can you zoom in on that a little bit? By the way.
On the chart it has.
Yeah. It's just kind of hard to look at.
Yeah, like 18 to 24, anxiety or depressive disorder, 62%. 25 to 24, it's 40% for an anxiety or depressive order. So it's still, not too far from half. Yeah, so, I mean, as we don't have to read the rest of the article, but as it points out, I mean, obviously this enemy that's being created by just everything happening to us, just our complete, our society fucking falling apart before our eyes.
You have a global pandemic, you have a global recession, you have
a government that doesn't listen to us.
Yeah, you have
extreme militarism, right-wing governments rising up around the world.
Yeah, it's just it's a lot.
Yeah.
The alienation from your labor, even getting into like Marxist principles. Yeah, like
capitalism.
It's all building up.
Empire decline. Yeah, it's.
I'm
sure there's some kind of data, like some little, anecdotal data. But
I don't know about that substance abuse stuff, though. I don't know.
When we said Donald Trump getting elected would bring the system to an end, you're seeing what it looks like.
Yeah, but somehow they're still putting defibrillators on it and making this shit run somehow.
Well, like when you saw at the beginning of the pandemic, when the stock market crashed, it just pumped trillions of dollars into it instead of giving that money to us.
It's working right now, isn't it?
They've fully recovered pretty much.
Yeah. Until it blows up again.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it seems like he might be able to hold off till the election. So it's like all the rubes that believe that the stock market is what determines, a healthy economy.
Well, who knows? We're almost in October, so.
Yeah, the more people start defaulting on their rent and shit, and the more.
We covered in the last show, I think, like 30-something% of people couldn't make their payment in like July.
Yeah, we're in September now.
That has a domino effect,
Oh yeah, I can only imagine the numbers gotten worse, but.
Yeah, a lot of people are struggling on that.
Because then the big industries can't afford to pay up, and then people lose their jobs, and
Everything's going down right now, so check in on your friends and stuff.
Yeah, please.
We all need support.
Yeah. A humanitarian cosmology is very important right now. We're all in this together. We gotta, 60%. I'm sure all of us have dealt with some type of anxiety or.
Oh yeah, especially during this, and like before even.
Yeah, I think somewhere, and we don't have to touch on it, but in that article it was like these numbers weren't too far from that right before the pandemic. So it's like, the pandemic exacerbated it, but it's like right before that it was.
We're still feeling the effects, man.
Mm-hmm. You want to take the next article?
Yeah. So talking about coronavirus again, we had a lot of highlights. It's time to talk about kind of the sadder stuff, the serious stuff. It's important. So going to the top of the article, reading the title first. Here from the Washington Post. U.S. says it won't join World Health Organization linked effort to develop and distribute coronavirus vaccine. I love it. Rugged individualism. The Trump administration said it will not join the global effort to develop, manufacture, and equitably distribute a coronavirus vaccine, in part because the World Health Organization is involved. a decision that could shape the course of the pandemic and the country's role in health diplomacy. More than 170 countries are in talks to participate in the COVID-19
What's
vaccine.
the difference?
Yeah, what's the difference, man? Global Access Facility, which aims to speed vaccine development, secure doses for all countries, and distribute them to the most high-risk segment of each population. The plan, which is led by the World Health Organization, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness, Innovations, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, was of interest to some members of the Trump administration and is backed by the traditional U.S. allies, including Japan, Germany, and the European Commission, the executive arm of the European Union. But the United States will not participate, in part because the White House does not want to work with the World Health Organization, which President Trump has criticized over what he's characterized China-centric, Kung Flu-centric response to the pandemic. The United States will continue to engage our international partners to ensure we will defeat this virus. We will not be constrained by multilateral organizations influenced by the corrupt World Health Organization and China, said Judd Deere, a spokesperson for the White House. Judd. Yeah, that's.
If your name's Judd, you're not allowed to have a fucking opinion.
You see, the White House is very familiar with corruption. They know how to spot it.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and so the article just continues talking about how, despite it being the right thing and moral thing to do to join the global effort to stop this global pandemic that is not only just destroying us, but hurting a lot of other people around the world too. But like, I think this decision, I said it earlier, just to Jacan and everybody, we are like literally cooing ourselves. Like we're just purposely making decisions to fuck ourselves over so we can crumble from the inside. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like not only are we a space. No. I had it.
Not only are we.
I had it. No. You keep talking.
What I learned in boating school is
what I learned in boating school. Hold up, my brain cells will connect eventually.
I think.
Oh, I was gonna say what I think beyond just general Chinese racism is the motivation behind it. They wanna some fucking U.S. pharmaceutical company to fucking patent the vaccine so they can make a shit ton of money.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Like they don't want to work with any other country, and then they just want to, kazoo everyone out the ass for the vaccine.
Yeah, like they don't really care about making sure we don't die of corona. But they're gonna they'll have a vaccine out when enough of us start to die.
We can't have actual competition on.
Want to start affecting them.
They can't. They're gonna be like, oh shit, our labor force. we gotta help them out.
Well, and the WHO has its problems too, but that's obviously not why the U.S. is doing it. It's better at least to work together towards something. At least they're having the right idea. The profit motive isn't entirely what they're going after. I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning behind this.
Most definitely.
Yeah, and just general, scumfuckery.
I mean, yeah. The funny thing is though, the profit motive by the capitalist is this research is most likely going to be done through public funding of like our universities and whatnot. So it's just, capitalism can't operate without socialism.
Well, and odds are we're not gonna find the good one first. It's not gonna be us.
Definitely not.
It's probably gonna be Cuba.
I
don't know. If I really had my money though, it's gonna be like Vietnam or something. It's gonna be an Asian country.
I was thinking more like Korea,
but not China. Yeah, like Korea is another good one.
I was thinking Korea, but no. Cuba is definitely a contender.
You guys like boaters?
I fucking love our beautiful boaters. We have many boaters in this stream actually. Jose is he has our
Michael
nice dinghy.
Actually the
Michael's
only
Oh,
boater.
wait, hold on.
Michael is the real boater. Tell us about it.
Describe your boat. Like, what kind of boat is it?
It's a boat floats on water.
Oh shit.
Yeah. What kind of, I bet you know what kind of engine it has.
It's just it's a four winds onboard motor. I don't know. It's just a boat, bro. Like, I don't know.
It's a nice dinghy.
It's got a big, beautiful Trump flag
God.
behind it
Yeah.
under the lake.
Actually, we have video footage of Michael and his boater friends. If you want to
Yeah,
pull that up,
Let's check it out.
he was out in Tampa.
I swear, if you guys actually pull something up, just like randomly on the spot, I would have been like so
country made
confused.
their way out to
I'll point him out
Clearwater
when
Beach
I
for
see
what they're
him.
calling the mother of all boat parades. They're
He's on
trying
the
to
screen
break
right
the
now. What are you
world
talking
record
about?
for the largest boat parade in honor of President Trump, and they might just do it. Currently, the Guinness Book of World Records states that the current world record for the largest boat parade was achieved back in 2014 in Malaysia with 1,180 boats. But organizers of today's parade said they're confident that at least on
Hell
paper,
yeah.
they have that record
Beautiful.
beat. They told Fox 13
Doesn't that guy at the
over
top look like Mr.
1,600
Davis?
voters registered to be in today's parade.
That's how
But
you
with
rewind
people
it.
registering up until the last minute,
He looks-
and with organizers encouraging voters to join in along the routes, they told us there's a good possibility there's at least 2,000
The
boats
Trump
out
jet
on the water
ski,
for today's event.
insane.
Oh,
People are
yeah.
coming from all over the place. They're coming from the East Coast.
Bucket
they're coming
hat
from
drip.
South. They're coming from Orlando.
I can't
We've
lie,
got
the bucket hat
original
is
Trump
drip.
boat
The
here
bucket
in
hat
Florida
is
from West
drip.
Palm Beach. Jupiter.
Cream on the
We've got
inside,
people coming from South
red on the
Carolina,
out.
all over the
Crazy.
place.
Didn't they have the guy that
to-
wore one on
to represent
the
Trump and
convention?
to support this effort.
For those who
Yeah.
were out on the beach today, there
That's-
was
I
no
think
question
this is like
why
bucket
these
hat number
voters
2.
were out on the water. Organizers encouraged those in the parade to fly as many Trump flags as possible to make sure their message was clear. The parade
Tell
started
that's
with a
hard as
patriotic
fuck.
send-off at Pier
That'd be
60 as the
vintage
national anthem
fucking-
played, followed by a flyover by 2 World
Oh,
War II
hell
biplanes
yeah.
and a few surprises along the way.
And we're gonna head
I
south.
think a lot of them realize they might
in
not
the
be having these
intercoastal,
boats for too much
and when we get to
longer.
One Tree Island, that's where
Yeah.
paratroopers are gonna
What are you
jump
talking about?
out
We're gonna live
and
in
land on
fucking
that
water
island.
The
world
parade
soon.
route wrapped up at the Welch Causeway.
This is all
where
that's
each
gonna
boat was
exist. Is
officially
Holy
credited
shit.
in hopes of breaking that world record.
Boating
This boat
over
parade in
fucking
support of President
Arkansas.
Trump comes as early voting wraps
I love
up
reactionary
across the Bay Area
conservatives,
with the
bro.
primary election
They're fun.
right
at
around the
Trump
corner.
vo-
It's set for Tuesday, August 18th. In Clearwater, Elizabeth Fry,
like,
Fox 13 News.
You should smoke with liberals, but you should 100% drink with conservatives.
Oh yeah, you
No
kidding
question.
me?
They know what they're
Oh
doing.
yeah.
Let's get on a boat, drink a little bit, and then fucking then get
Speaking
back.
about these boaters, we have a fucking you want to pull up the tweet? The Boaters for America Political Action Committee. The boaters are so behind Trump that they made a fucking pack for it.
I actually didn't know that.
No, yeah, it's
Voters political action.
yeah, it's like legit, like it's a real thing. Like if you click on that link, it goes to the thing.
BFAPAC.
This is amazing. Yeah,
But it's like federally recognized as like a pack now.
You mean Buffak pack?
Yeah.
Buff-
That
BFA. This is the BFA. Voters for America.
yeah, click on that docury link and then it should take you to like the Federal Election Commission thing. Yeah, and they're like recognized federally as a pack now.
Wait, zoom in on these dudes' names that are There you go. Wait, their email is Nancy at Campaigns Unlimited. Custodian of records, Nancy. Okay, they're married. Or no. Nancy
It's the same person.
Is the custodian and the treasurer? Wow, Nancy.
Yeah, for real.
Taking on a lot here.
Empire National Bank.
Signed Nancy Marks. That's not a signature. You typed that.
Yeah.
I love the virtual fucking signature. It's like that's not a just.
Yeah, I just typed my name out.
I just typed. It's not a virtual. You're lying. That's pretty dope, though.
It's fucking
Like,
hilarious.
can you join?
Can I join?
Can anybody join?
Can you Can you join? I don't want to give them money, but I want I'll give them money if they give me like a patch or something.
Yeah, I
No,
want
you have to give them money.
I want a fucking Voters for America fucking bumper sticker, dude.
I'm just gonna make my username. I could go down to the Panhandle right now and shoot someone on 5th Avenue, and
It's like the border wall fundraising thing. You know, they're just gonna funnel the money for their boats.
Just Newt Gingrich's new boat.
You see, that's what they really mean. By Boaters for America, as in, you know, everything we get is going to the boats.
Yeah. Michael, when was the last time you guys used your boat?
It's been forever, especially since the virus. Like, it's not, we're not gonna.
Aren't you allowed to go to
it.
lakes though? Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
a lake.
you can,
You're
but
all isolated.
I wouldn't do it. I don't know.
How much does a Trump boat flag run?
A Trump boat flag.
Yeah, I guess there's no such thing as a boat flag, huh?
It's just a flag.
Is that a thing? It's just a flag,
No,
right?
it's just a flag.
Wow, you could buy a Donald Trump flag on Amazon.
I'm pretty sure you can find anything on Amazon.
I don't remember Bezos being partisan. Remember, he owns the Washington Post, the most impartial news network.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah, all the links are open, but yeah, I remember Carlos was talking about this not too long ago. How you were saying like the seasons are just coming in later than normal. Like it used to get hot back in August. Now it starts getting hotter around it would get hot around like June, July.
Like it's like summertime, peak summer. Yeah.
Right.
Now peak summer is like.
It's supposed to be hot this weekend. Like this weekend's supposed to be really hot.
Like everything's
supposed to get another
offset.
Well, because I think I remember from what I heard about it, it's as climate change accelerates, and greenhouse gases build up, it slows down the Earth's like normal climate processes. So it means that weather events that wouldn't normally last as long are now lasting longer because they've slowed down. They're more intense due to the buildup of it, thanks that makes it slower. So lasts longer, more intense, and comes later due to being slower.
Wait, lasts longer, more intense, comes later. I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it. That would be a great Viagra commercial.
Yeah, you're right. No, I'm really advertising. No.
I know, we basically gave Planet Earth Plan B, and it's just delayed. It's just ovulating late now. It's just
Not
fucked.
just summer, winter comes in a little bit later. Like, it's just kind of strange.
Yeah. Anyone want to? I think we've burned through all of our stuff. So, if anyone wants to, last thoughts maybe, something pertinent.
Any viewers want to type in chat, ask some questions?
Yeah, questions too.
Happy.
Now's the time.
Ian, I think you're muted.
I sure am.
Ooh.
Are you guys familiar with the Extinction Rebellion? You know about them?
Yeah, I am, but
I think I saw that shit on Twitter today.
I like some of their stuff, some of the stuff they do, and I think their general intent is in the right direction. But yeah, I think you saw that tweet too. That was an interesting take. They're like, don't call Extinction Rebellion a socialist. Don't mistake it as a socialist movement. It's like, yeah, but fundamentally, if we're gonna change with mass civil disobedience, if we're looking for future goals, shit we gotta do, socializing the workplace is what we gotta do. It's not for ourselves.
Bringing democracy to the place where we spend a majority of our life would be insane.
Because we need to adopt their tactic of mass civil disobedience, but it can't. We want power at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We're doing mass civil disobedience to actually fucking change things. We have to have a vision of what we're changing them for. And if the obvious direction is socialism, so to worry about the label and try to fool ourselves it's something different is ridiculous. Do we get any questions, or does everyone hate us?
Glittering Generality says no talk on femicides? ?
I actually wanted to bring up something on the femicides, because right now we had a Colombia article where we were talking about the later effects of the drug war. We've obviously had Bolivia in our show, and we want to bring up Mexico, and I think obviously the focal point should be on the femicides specifically there, but we can do that real large, across Latin America, and yeah, we should do that next
Maybe
show.
next Wednesday.
Absolutely, yeah,
Definitely.
you're right. Yeah, and I might have an inside source that might be able to bring us some information, some on the ground information. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
Depending on whether or not we get Caesar next time too, we can work something cool.
Yeah. So make sure you watch the next
Thank you
show.
for the question too.
Yeah. You should catch us next Wednesday.
We'll be sure to let everyone know when it's going down. So.
And if like it says in the title of the stream, if you have any questions about like what we're talking about on today's stream, whenever you join in, just type exclamation topics, and a little robot will type in like what we're talking about today, like the main things we're harping on.
Yeah, but I don't want to. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to gloss over femicides. We for sure need to cover them because it's like
100%.
We were supposed to. I honestly didn't end up doing some of the readings, but we were supposed to bring up. We were going to have like a women's empowerment segment where we're talking about powerful socialist female figures.
Yeah.
Throughout history, so we wanted to bring that one up too. That also might be next week, so some sneak peeks.
And for like future shows, I personally want to do something on gender. I think that'd be a cool segment to do.
Yeah, we did. We always kind of. It seems already we already stick to our niches for sure, but give us topics. It's nice to branch out too.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys have
by
specific
nature
topics,
do a bunch of international stuff, so it's like if we're doing a bunch of international stuff, we're cool with a bunch of different kind of social issues and topics too.
Yeah, exactly. If you have some and if you're an international viewer, like earlier we had a guy from Argentina in the chat.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was. But yeah, if you're if you're international or know people international that have like something from their country to talk about, definitely like message us or Twitter. If you type !socials, you can find our Twitter, and let us know. I think that it'd be really cool to get more like personal accounts when talking international. It adds an extra layer. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, nice. I guess we give like one more minute if anyone wants to.
Yeah, if anybody has anything to say, ask now.
We
had a good show.
Any topic ideas too?
It was different. Like
I like the flow more.
Yeah, and like the chat.
We're still getting used to our stuff, our flow.
Yeah. So I mean, we're still trying to figure out how to like do chat interaction. Like today,
debates would be interesting.
Oh yeah, like maybe talking to that.
I don't know though. I don't want to like debate. I don't want to be a debate lord.
No, we don't have to do debate.
I want to debate people.
I'd rather do like
I don't know. Debating Sargon of Akkad would be pretty funny.
Maybe more just discussion
or like info episodes. Where like we do a more deep dive on stuff.
Yeah, more of a deep dive.
Like
focus on one thing. Or...
Yeah, I'd rather do that. Like having someone on and like doing a big segment like with them. And being able to like inform people about something rather than just having people on and either having them debate or trying to debate them.
Right, it's a waste of you, the guest.
My bad.
No, you're good.
I was saying, a thing we really want to do with the show is empower like local voices, like artists, etc., and like also like local.
All our music's local.
Yeah, music, and then all the music we play for the stream is always local, and it's always.
Our first guest is gonna be local.
Yeah, we definitely want to empower our local voice. Everybody, like our left movement in Oxnard.
I think we're good to.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it here, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Bush did 9/11. Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for real. Make sure to drop a follow if you already haven't, so you can keep up with it next time. We'll be here Wednesday, same time. But yeah, we're gonna head out. Let's get the cameras cut and the music playing. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you guys for the support. Appreciate all of you.
like I'm out of space. I run away, but this life is not a race. So I'm not out of pace. On sunny days, I play tunes of Miles Davis. In funny ways, these bays wear designer shades. But that's just not my taste. It's simple, I've been here before. Fate is knocking on my door. But I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait no more. I've been here before. Fate is knocking on my door. But I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait no more. But I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait no more. But I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait, no, I don't wanna wait no more. Rainy nights, my sight full of different lights. It's never right, I try to refute your side. Fight for my fucking life. On summer nights, it's